Financial officer during COVID. Jimmy, welcome.
Hey, Mike. Thanks for having me.
So the latest headline to come out of this Fauci hearing is now Louisiana is going to launch its own investigation into Dr. Fauci. What's your take on what we saw from him?
Look, there were definitely financial impacts to the states based on the bad policies that Fauci put out. I think the guy was a coward. When it came down to shutting down businesses, he had plenty to say. When it came to separating loved ones, he was on MSNBC all the time. So look, when it came finally to where he could defend his statements and his decisions, he put his head in the sand. He's a coward. 111 times he pled the fifth. And this is how history will remember him.
In his so-called diary, Dr. Fauci wrote, "All my friends kept saying I was a national hero. I did all 5 Sunday shows today, my third Fauci 5. POTUS seems to be enamored of me and super A-list party. As someone who is in the middle of Florida's COVID response, how do you respond?"
Look, the guy had a God complex. I think he still does. He's been reading too many of his own news clips. But, thank goodness we had leadership. I was on the Reopen Task Force with Governor DeSantis, and we bucked the trend. We opened up Florida in May of 2020 when other states like a Louisiana or Illinois or some of these other places you're never going to live were shut down, destroying those economies, killing small businesses, and letting loved ones not see their loved ones when it was in their time of need. A lot of folks never got to say goodbye because of the policies that Fauci pushed forward. And again, I think now when it comes time to answering the tough questions, again, like I said, he's putting his head in the sand.
The Washington Post opinion section says the nation needs a pandemic inquiry, not a diary investigation. What about concerns about if we will be ready for, God forbid, the next pandemic?
Well, we learned an awful lot from what happened with COVID. I tell people all the time, Florida got hit in the last 10 years by almost 20 hurricanes. We learned something from every single hurricane. We learned a lot from COVID. And there's a lot of things that we saw during COVID that weren't necessarily the right policy to move our country forward. And unfortunately, a lot of this falls at Dr. Fauci's feet. And when it comes time to share, thank goodness he put a diary on a federal server and Kennedy's team found it. So shame on you for being so reckless with your personal thoughts. Those are now going to be the ones that are going to string you up with the problems you have when the public wants to get the answers.
Then there's the Save America Act, which you all in the House have passed multiple times. New Jersey Senator Cory Booker says he's still a no despite the voter registration roll scandal in the Garden State. What's your response to him on that front?
Well, there's a lot of United States senators who want to pass the Save America Act. Both of our senators here in Florida have been very outspoken, both Ashley Moody and Rick Scott. But, I look with Mitch McConnell, we need to figure out whatever cocktail they gave Joe Biden to get out of bed, give it to Mitch, and let's get these senators back in the chamber so we can vote this out. It's a 90-10 issue with Americans, not a Republican, not an independent, not Democrat, a 90-10 issue.